We are live. I'm going to do the
theme song. You want to sing for us?
What?
Can you sing for the theme song for everyone?
Oh, yes, I did. I don't exactly remember it. What's my theme song?
You're the one that made up the theme song. Like I'm just.
Oh, was it? Hey, Team Tobias, what's up? We are the Literary Lens podcast, and what's up, Akron, Ohio? It's me, Ann Rose, Kelly Dyksterhouse, and Lane Haymont. And we're here for your first pages. You may notice I'm off screen, of course, because my internet is so bad. When I originally signed on, Kelly had to help me through getting off and then back on and then yada, yada, yada. But here we are. Hello, everyone. So I guess we should start.
Yeah, we should. Sorry, I got a message from Steffi, and so I'm obviously trying to figure out what it is that she needs and trying to do two things at once because of course I am, right?
Me too. That's exactly what I'm doing. Okay, and perfect. We're live on Instagram too.
And it looks like we have comments coming in. So yeah.
Yes, comments. So if I get buggy, I apologize in advance.
They think it's spam. Try changing it a bit.
Okay, where are you seeing the comments? On Instagram?
No, on the sidebar.
Oh, I'm just not seeing. All I'm seeing is StreamYard.
In the like all the way onto the right side, there's like a little box that says comments. If you click on that, they should come in.
And I made it so now you can see the comments on screen. Okay. You'd think after using this for 2 years or a year, I'd be able to know what I'm doing.
Yeah, YouTube didn't like the welcome notice. They said it's too generic. They thought it was spam.
Oh, is that what you were saying about spam? That's funny.
Yeah. YouTube rejected your comment. This is usually means they think it's spam. Try changing it a bit.
You'd be like, welcome a-holes.
Right. I don't think that we should call our listeners a-holes, but like, what is
no, I'm saying, we're
it's a kind greeting. Like but it's too generic, I guess. Too cliche.
Right. Okay. I am gonna go into the slickety slacks and find those first pages, even though I know you have them pulled up and you're gonna read them.
Well, I think everyone should read at least. I mean, there's 6, so we could each read 2.
That sounds good.
Okay.
So I can jump us off though on reading the first.
Go for it.
Just jump into it. Are we ready to dive in?
Yeah. Oh, I'm ready.
Go for it.
Okay. I have not read these before. I just put them in a document and then that's it. So
sounds good.
So this one is chapter 1. Noelle squinted at the breathtaking view in front of her. With the bright sunlight reflecting off the ice and sea, the massive icebergs in the distance appeared otherworldly, majestic, even magical, if you believed in such things. All of those people flocking to tropical beaches don't know what they're missing. And what were those oddly shaped dark masses in the middle of the half-frozen ocean? Islands? Mountains? A different type of iceberg? One mystery at a time. Noelle zipped her jacket all the way up and picked up her suitcase. Its neon green zipper really out of place against the pristine landscape untouched by civilization. She hadn't come all the way to northern Greenland to gawk at icebergs. No. She and the other interns were here for something even more exciting. Their destination wasn't at sea, but on land. frozen solid most of the year, and a mix of icy slush and gritty mud for a few weeks of Arctic summer. But what was a little cold in exchange for an adventure of a lifetime? And boy, did Noelle need, especially after a loud throat clearing brought her back to the present. Noelle glanced over her shoulder. Alex, a fellow intern, stood right behind her. His tall frame bent uncomfortably in the tiny charter jet's doorway. She definitely needed to move. Sorry, she threw him a sheepish smile and motioned to the icy landscape. Isn't this something? He smiled back with a nod. Apparently, even Norwegians like Alex, with their famous fjords, weren't used to a sight like this, especially in the summer. That's it.
This is my own foible, but from the first sentence, maybe, the first paragraph before "if you believed in such things," for some reason I was like, "Oh, cool, Arctic horror! I'm super excited." It's very well written, but I wonder if we should be asking for genres, because it feels like, I said, I went into it thinking it's horror, but it sounds like it's going to be romance.
I'm thinking that there could be a bit of fantasy here, because actually, the little hint at magic, if you believed in such things, right there at the beginning, has me thinking that, well, yes, we better be believing in such things, because it's coming.
It's gonna happen. Yeah.
And actually, if that's the case, then that's actually a really nice little just clue. Very lightly done. And also kind of reveals a little bit about the character, because it makes you think that the character does not believe in such things. And it looks like she's there for science. And, what better juxtaposition than to have somebody who loves science be forced to face a little bit of magic. So that's kind of fun.
I agree. I do think that Lane might be right that there's probably going to be a little romance in here, because it does feel like about maybe possibly. The one thing that I think some of the writing overall could be tightened up. Instead of telling us that she squinted at the view in front of her, I would rather just have the view. I want to be like sucked in immediately to the narrative here. And I think that there is a moment that you can do that and make it really beautiful, especially given the environment that this is in. I don't personally need the thoughts in italics. I know you guys, I don't know if you guys can see it, but for me, when you're in like a really close third, I think it's always obvious what the thoughts are. So I don't think they need to be standing out. I do want more of a hint, though, because it's like Noelle needed this, especially after, and I know that it's leading to something, but I think sometimes giving us a reason earlier to care is actually better in the first pages than trying to keep it a secret. Mm-hmm. But again, I haven't read the back cover copy. Maybe it's already alluded to there, and so we don't need that here in the front page. But overall, yeah, I thought I really loved the atmosphere that it created.
Mm-hmm. I have a thing. We can talk about this a little bit amongst ourselves. Rhetorical questions. Yeah. So to me, if you have too many rhetorical questions in a row, first of all, it can end up being distracting, leading, and just taking up space. But it also, to me, can signal that the writer doesn't actually know what they want to get at. So I think if you are in an early draft and you have a lot of rhetorical questions, like what are the those oddly shaped dark masses in the middle of the half frozen ocean, islands, mountains, a different type of iceberg. I don't think you need all four questions in a row. You can break it up a little bit, lose a couple of them, or fill them in with a little bit more information or thoughts that might reveal the character a little bit more.
Oh, so are those rhetorical questions? Because when I think of rhetorical questions,
no, I was using that incorrectly.
Oh,
they're not rhetorical questions, because a rhetorical question is something you get the answer to.
Because I was thinking rhetorical questions, inquiries that, like, oh, would you sacrifice the one you love to save the world? I hate rhetorical questions because I always have a smart aleck, as my grandfather would say, response. Like, yeah, of course. What kind of stupid question is that?
So it more the leading questions that when the the character's just trying to figure it out for themselves, they actually might be the writer trying to figure it out for themselves. So it's just a issue of clarity. But no, you're right. It's not. I did not use the correct term there.
No, I didn't mean to. I just maybe I didn't know what rhetorical questions
No,
are.
you're
I've
right.
had my brain blown the last few weeks.
I think it's a good note and it's something to like for writers to think about when they do those kinds of things. I think for me here this works because I think of her like just kind of pondering, oh my God, what is that? Like, and it's so exciting that she's like just like quickly throwing out like these thoughts of what this thing could be, right?
Mhm.
So I don't know. I really liked this. I'm really curious where it goes. I'm really curious of the genre. I'm really curious about all of the things. And I'm pretty sure if I saw this in my inbox, I would probably keep reading. So
100%.
Yeah. So if you're in they call it the chat room, yeah, chat. And this is yours. Let us know the genre because
if
we're
you
all
don't mind revealing yourself, let's
Oh.
people they can be anonymous if they want
Yes.
to.
Yes, I'm not demanding you reveal yourself. I'm not like sending out the hounds. Because I'm very curious. And there is the line, she definitely needed to move. That I don't know, that just struck me as like I would have, if I were editing this, I would have struck that. Not to repeat myself, but or use the same word. But that's just my own foible. Okay, on to the next one.
On to the next. Someone else gets to read this one.
Oh, so we're switching. We're doing every other thing?
Yeah, why don't we keep it mixed up? I don't know. Unless you want me just to go for the second one, I can do it.
Please.
All right, chapter 1. It's either my hiking boots or me, and I'm not going down without a fight. Unfortunately, my hiking boots are nowhere to be found. If they were, I'd feel a lot better about today. It's been 14 and a half years since I met Cameron Hart, my neighbor, my best friend, the boy of my dreams, the love of my life. Now, he's my boyfriend of exactly 6 months and my date for tonight. If only I could find my damn boots. On my knees, I paw through the floor of my closet. Ballet flats with cat prints from the animal rescue site. Nope. Sneakers, my backup plan, but would rather not. 3-inch heels that make my clumsy ass a liability even on flat ground. Definitely nope. Where are they? I just had them last weekend when I hiked with Mom and Dad. Maybe I hurled them into the back of the closet. I stretch my arm, wiggling my fingers along the floor. I don't hit murals, but I do catch my middle finger on the pointy edge of a small box. Curious. I pull it toward me. Oh, this. It's blue, thin, about the size of a hardback book. A necklace box. It's simple, but I know the item inside is anything but. I haven't seen this in years. Opening the lid, my breath catches at the gorgeous necklace and the gorgeous jewelry inside. Overtly, I run my finger over the curved surface of the pendant, big enough to fill the center of my palm. A gemstone of some sort, reminiscent of moonstone, sits in the bottom half, while shades of dark blue, light blue, and white swirl above it. I've always had this, never known where it came from, and my adoptive parents have no clue either.
YA romantasy or YA romance. Am I right?
Or YA contemporary fantasy, because it could be a magical object.
Yeah.
True.
She's adopted. They don't know where it came from. It could have some magical properties. But I would say definitely YA.
I agree.
So the interesting thing about this, I'm going to just jump in, and we've made comments about this before, would be the first person point of view. And again, you're already in her head with all of her thoughts, so you don't need to italicize. As again, we're looking at this and people listening aren't necessarily, but this is hard because she's describing what she's seeing, but she's in first person point of view. She wouldn't be describing it to herself. So you're really, it's what I would in the margins note as a point of view violation, because she knows that it's blue thin. Like, why is she telling herself this? She doesn't have an audience. So I think there, as you revise, you can find ways to seed this information in a little bit more of an organic manner that would not be quite so much of an info dump.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it's still kind of the author telling themselves this story. It still feels a little bit, telling versus showing in a lot of ways. So one of the things that it's a little one of my kind of pet peeves is like, on my knees, I paw through the closet, opening the lid, my breath catches. Like those sentences, it's trying to vary sentence structure, which I appreciate. So you don't start every sentence with I, but there are other ways and better ways to go about that.
The I-thropy. I was going to call it the I syndrome, but then I don't know if that's offensive, so I went with lycanthropy, like werewolves. So I-thropy, if that makes sense. I did this, I did that. So I'm just co-signing what you're saying because I don't, and I'm getting in the weeds here, but I feel like this isn't a good place to start.
No, I think you might be right, or you could start in a different way. But I'm not sure it's exactly where the story needs to start. But it's hard to say just from a first page.
It's hard without any context. But it does beg a question, right? I think that the author is trying to get us to this necklace right away. And so the question becomes, do we need to know about this necklace on the first page? Is that critical? Or is it just critical for us to understand that there's maybe something magical, something about her past she doesn't know? Do we absolutely need this necklace and need to know everything about how it looks here? Because if not, you could start somewhere else, maybe make a mention to it. Like they could be anywhere else and she had forgotten something. Oh, just like she had almost forgotten about that necklace in her closet.
Yeah, like to be cruel and unkind and vicious. I mean, who cares about a necklace if I don't know who this person is? Like they always say, orient the reader, first. Like orient us where we are, who we're with. And that's one of the issues with the I syndrome is, who the hell is this person? I want her name. Tell me now. I need it. I need to know who she is. Okay.
Does anyone out there, our viewers, have any comments, questions, concerns, thoughts that they'd like to share with the group?
Yeah, I mean, we actually don't like each other, fellas. So, guys, people watching, reading. So, if you don't say anything, we're just stuck with each other.
That's not very nice.
No, it's not true. Obviously, people can tell I'm joking.
Hopefully.
I am being facetious. Okay, I will go next so I can get it out of the way.
Excellent. Number 3.
Anne is very excited because I almost never do this. I think never.
I don't think that.
No. 3. This one doesn't actually say chapter 1. Mama kissed Emma's cheek and parted. What? It's in foreign languages. It's German. I can't. Pass auf dich auf. It should have been a perfunctory warning, a loving reminder to be safe. But the last 10 years had stolen the privilege of casual goodbye from the Itterer family. Emma hesitated. Mama's smile was weak, but her grip on Emma's arm was full of healthy vigor. Will you be all right on your own? Yes, Mama said. Go, take the children to the Almatrib. Mama's warning faded as Emma led them to the familiar path. Her niece and nephew rushed ahead as they hiked toward the lower meadows, though Sophie's hand found Emma's after the little girl, tired of sprinting with her older brother. Aloy remained ahead, creating translucent brown clouds with his feet. They rose up to meet their startling white cousins in the sky as the warmth of the dying summer lulled them all into the security the surrounding Dolomite Mountain so often offered. But their path did not remain empty for long. Two black shirts, Italian ex army men, and zealous proponents of Mussolini's ideal Italy strode toward them with their batons held at their sides. Ahead, Alois slowed his steps, his body stiffening as he placed himself between Emma and the approaching black shirts. She sucked in an aching breath at his protective display. A 10-year-old boy shouldn't be forced to know the desire to shield loved ones from possible attack. She squeezed Sophie's hand a little tighter, hoping to comfort her as she pressed into the drab skirts of Emma's calico patterned dress. Fear tainted her gesture, and Emma reasoned with her nerves. If the three of them stepped forward now with measured purpose, they shouldn't be harassed. They had left well behind any of the others who might be coming out for the yearly tradition. Is this in Italy
Nice
or
job.
Germany? Thank you, because it sounds like Pass auf ich durch sounds like Germany.
Yeah, that sounds German, but I feel like the mention of Mussolini and Italy and the Dolomites, I feel like we're in Italy.
Yes,
But
I agree.
they might be German in Italy, so during World War II. So there's a lot. There's a lot going on here. I would love personally in these pages to have more interaction between Aloy and Emma and Sophie, just some dialogue and some back and forth, a little bit of character development, rather than just a bunch of narrative. I mean, the narration's well written, but just to really plant me in the seed a little bit more, specifically in Emma's character. I think we're getting told a lot of her emotions and thoughts, and I'd rather see them. Thoughts?
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure what age group we're here for either at this moment. I don't know if this is an adult historical or a kidlit historical. Another thing that I had an issue with feeling grounded in the scene, because it's like there's Mama and Emma and we know that they're there, and then all of a sudden there's Sophie's hand. Well, who's Sophie? Where did she come from? And then there's Alois, and like, well, wait. So this goes back to what Lane was saying about how you need to like ground a reader in the scene immediately, and it's almost like taking a moment where you like have your character do a 180, and so we know exactly where they are, who's around, what is happening, and so we can immediately feel grounded and like sunken in to this story. So at first I thought, oh, it's just Mama and Emma, and then all of a sudden these more characters started popping up, and I don't know who these characters are, and it just left me felt like I was floundering trying to figure out the situation.
Now, I will say a nice thing that I liked was starting with, I mean, there's a parting there, right? So that creates interest and question. And I don't know what that German phrase means. But we know that it's a perfunctory warning, and so maybe just be careful, something like that. I like the idea that there's a warning right there at the beginning. It creates a sense of kind of, interest and question of what's to come. So I like that little kind of bit of a seed of interest that's woven in there right at the beginning. But then I think you do need to, you enter Emma's character right there with Emma hesitated. and she's clearly concerned about Mama, which is great. But then they leave Mama, and then it's just all description of the scenery. So we need to stay, I think, in Emma's character, and maybe then you need to introduce the niece and the nephew a little bit more and put them in place. Where are they going and why? What do they hope to see there? We know that there's some concern, but once they see the black shirts, but yeah.
Yeah, it felt very rushed for me, and I was reading it and couldn't really keep track. I mean, so Emma, Mama, we're leaving. We're in a house, I assume, and then we're off in the countryside with a niece and nephew whose names we don't learn until, Sophie's hand, and then Eloy's, and then there's a black shirt. So there's a lot going on for the first page, of which there's no dialogue, and we have no idea who anyone is, how old they are, and the mention of Italy and Italians. Okay, I get it. But if they're speaking German, I feel like we need some orientation to start off with because of those very specific details. I don't know if I'm wrong or
no. There's no right or wrong. Obviously, with anything, especially with writing, like it's all subjective, right? So we're just giving our off the cuff impressions of reading something for the very first time and without any context. I know it's very I know I struggle going into anything without having at least age group, genre, give me that, at least that, and then I can go in. But otherwise, yeah, it can be difficult.
Yeah.
So in the comments, it says this is in South Tyrol, which is today is Italy. It used to be Austria. So that's interesting. Okay.
So if it was Austria at this point, then there should be little to hold on. I removed us from LinkedIn because we kept getting spam.
Yeah. I was wondering what was going on here.
It's super annoying. But so I lost my train of thought. But yes. Thanks, Tony McBride. Okay. Kelly, you want to read the next one?
You want to read your second, or do you want to wait?
I'll read the second. That's obviously what you want me to do, so I will.
Well, I mean, you set up the rules.
You did a great job. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Number 4. This one also doesn't have a chapter heading. Weird. Huh. Okay. Gravity in this place doesn't come from below. On the dance floor, it's the heat and pressure from the bodies keeping the orbit in motion, floating through strobe-lit dark matter. Cosmic dust swirls in the air, sweet and salty from the smoke machine and sweat, while hands and hips and mouths collide in a chain reaction of lust. A perfectly balanced microcosmos, is that a word? Where time doesn't exist. It's a beautiful, super gross phenomenon to be a part of. I'm just watching from a distance because I'm busy with a more important matter at hand. Right. I swipe on the dating app Sparked, saying yes to every gay man within a 10-mile radius. That's funny. Sparks fly. You and Ethan have matched. The in-app banner notifies, but when I click on it, the app crashes. Mission accomplished. I can't wait to go home and work on the bug. Shoving my phone into my pocket, I go back to human gazing. That's when I see him. In the galaxy of dancing bodies, he's the brightest star, radiating the larger-than-life energy of someone who belongs right there at the center. His hips sway right, then left, right, left. When I look up from his ass, he's grinning like an idiot. Oh, that's not nice. How all proud of catching me staring, and winks over his shoulder. I snort to myself and shake my head, picking at what's left of the saggy napkin under my almost untouched drink. In my defense, I tried ordering something cute and sweet, but ended up with whatever this sad amber puddle is. Across the room, the crowd parts to let him through, and he stops by the bar. Then, with 2 drinks in hand, the hottest man of the party walks straight toward me in confident steps, like we're connected by that invisible, or was it red, string. Open your mouth, Nicky, he drawls, shoving the straw of the blue drink to my face. And that's the end. I'll start off by saying the voice totally disconnected from itself. Sad Amber Puddle was a great effing line. There were some great lines, but then the whole descriptive of the cosmos is throwing me off because I'm like, oh, cool, scientist, space, we're in space stuff. And then it's
we were
like,
in science fiction. Yeah.
That's what I thought too. And I was like, oh, this is super cool, very well written. Then it's like some dude objectifying another dude and calling him an idiot. And I was like, what's going on? I was a little heartbroken at points.
Yeah, it definitely was not, it never went anywhere expected. And maybe that's the point of it, right? Like maybe the point is to do, I don't know. But like I actually really liked the first part of it, which is like, I thought, well, yeah, we're getting into some things like kind of science fiction-y. And then it's just kind of turns into this, oh, but I'm swiping on a dating app, which if you can maybe connect the two a little bit more, I think that would have been more interesting somehow. But it's just like, it seems like there's so many, I don't know. It feels like the scene is fighting itself.
Yeah, so I don't know if anyone's seen Sinners, but Sinners, I think it starts off this way, but there's a scene in the dance floor where people are dancing, and it reminds me very much of this. It's very kind of cosmic sci-fi. People are spinning, and there's visions and yada, 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 which is super cool, and I'm totally into it. But then we do really just go to some guy trolling a club, swiping on a dating app.
Yeah, is it really more important?
So I have a
more important.
very
Yeah.
Okay. So I actually like your point about the sinner scene. So I actually love this first line, gravity in this place doesn't come from below. And then it puts you in I could almost feel, and I actually made a note that I would have liked some more sound in this. It's a lot of sight. But like, is there thumping music? Is it like, I just kind of have this like overwhelming sensory issue of like a nightclub, but I would want that to be a little bit clearer. But then I see that he's there for a purpose, which is to test his own dating app and to see what's going to make it crash. And so he's there working on it. That's what I
is that what he's doing?
Yeah, he's
I did not get
swiping
that.
on the dating app, saying yes to every man, and then he clicks on it, and the app crashes. Mission's accomplished. I can't wait to go home and work on the bug. So it's a bug in the app that he's putting together. So this is my sense of what is going on. It's buried, though, right? You have to be very clear. And again, so you've got a juxtaposition. I think it could work. You just need to, I think, again, work a little bit more. And then as soon as you like drop that hint that he needs to go home and work on this, then all of a sudden, so you're here in the nightclub, you're here with the app, and then you're here with the man. And the hot guy who's walking towards him. I agree, Lane. You've got there are some really great lines in this. I thought I thought the puddle, the drink, just some really nice little details. But then you go back to in the galaxy of dancing bodies. So you're kind of staying in that prolonged metaphor, but here's where we're all confused, right? Is this actually a metaphor, or are you actually in space? Like we don't really know yet.
It seems like if he were there for the bug, it's the bug, he leaves. But he waits, he's checking out a guy. So is he really using it to get someone, or is he just the app guy? Because from what I know and from having spoken to people and yada yada, the people who build these apps, they don't care about the app. They're not using Tinder or Hinge. They're building something that other people will use.
I got that sense that he's there testing it. It's not working, so he's going to go back and fix it for someone else to use. But he's maybe also using an app that he finds to be useful, just not at the moment.
Sparked.
Yeah, I like that. So I'm also intrigued that the guy knows his name at the end, so it's not a stranger.
That's what I was like. How does this guy know his name? I mean, I think, and obviously this is just my opinion. I think we got to focus on one or the other. I mean, it's just some software developing. I wish, and we really need to be asking people for genres. It's gay romance. The protagonist is there against his will because it's his best friend, future love interest, birthday. He wishes he were at home working. You got to tell us that, bruh. I'm putting that up there. I mean, that's stuff we got to know. The first page we got to know, orient us, because we're just getting cool descriptions, not about who this dude is and why he's there. And
I think that it's buried. I think it's in there. Like he describes it as it's a beautiful, super gross phenomenon. So it's the super gross that, like, I was like, it's beautiful, but it's gross. I don't know. I think you could clarify what his attitude is to the environment right at the get-go. Because I'm confused. Is it beautiful or is it gross? It's just not quite clear.
I went back to the email. It's a queer contemporary romance.
Then the science stuff, all the cosmos, all that stuff, I just don't think it fits.
Well, it's with a chronically awkward tech genius who goes undercover to test a rival dating app. I don't want to
fun concept.
I don't want to give too much away because
it's a fun concept.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on it?
I think start with clarifying, and maybe it's just a little overwritten, because I mean, the writing is good, the description's interesting, but instead of showing us so much description of the environment, get right to the character and his attitude.
Get a little more of the character in it. Yeah, I agree. Because I think that if you had a little bit more of the character, it would really help this. But I loved some of the description. Like, I don't want to lose too much of it, but I just want more character. So,
or if you flipped it and gave us a little bit more character, you could have some of that cool description a little bit later once we know exactly where we are and what we're dealing with.
Yeah. I mean, the first page, you're setting the tone for the whole thing. So, like we said at the beginning, Ann and I were like, oh, cool, sci-fi, we're in space. Like, what's up? But if it's a contemporary queer romance, that ain't it. Unless it's in space. Then, cool. Okay, Kelly, your turn.
Kelly's turn.
Hey.
Let's see. I got to move to the next page. Here we go. All right. This is our fifth one. Chapter 1, Feralith. The castle halls are colder than they should be, pricking my exposed arms. The frilled sleeves of my gown agitate my skin as I rush through the eastern corridor. My governess, Irene, yanked me into the thing as the sun rose. She insisted that the tight laces, stiff bodice, and its deep shade of purple would make me look presentable. But why does being presentable even matter when I'm already a disappointment? My slippers skid on the polished white stone as I round the corner towards our family's private dining hall. Two servants pause mid-conversation, their gossip ending the moment they see me. Their eyes flick to my dress, my pinned hair, my composure, my everything. I force my chin up and keep walking, ignoring the half-assed bows that are required of half-assed bows that are required of them when royalty passes. One step, fine. Second, steady. Third, my toe catches the hem of my ridiculous ball gown. I pitch forward with a strangled gasp and barely manage to catch myself on the wall. The sound of my palm against the marbled ball echoes down the corridor like applause meant for someone else's humiliation. The servants inhale sharply. Not quite gasps, not quite laughter. Something in between. Heat floods my face. I'm fine, I mutter, even though no one asked. They exchange a look, and then whispering resumes the moment my back is turned. She's hopeless.
Still no inflection? Is that?
Oh, that's on the next page. Yes,
Oh.
She's hopeless. Still no inflection. Okay, sorry.
I have lots of thoughts because I think, like we were saying before, if it didn't suffer from the eye syndrome or what I like to call eye-thropy, it would be very cool, very good, very much more well written.
I'm personally missing some agency from the character here and like what they want. So I think this is YA fantasy. I'm going to guess like some sort of like historical fantasy type of thing, you know, with lords and ladies and queens and kings and castles and that kind of thing. So and like she's told us a lot about her dress and getting dressed, and she has to look presentable, but we don't know why. So if you make me care before she falls and catches herself, like then I have stakes in the game, right? Like, so make me care that she has to make a good impression first. And then when she doesn't, I'm like, ooh, ouch, that sucks, right? Like, so, I mean, there's nothing wrong. It's just that I just don't, I mean, she falls and like she catches herself. It's humiliation. I want to feel the humiliation. I want to know that this was something worth.
Yeah.
Is anyone hearing me here?
I agree. And I feel like in a way the whole scene is kind of undermined by at the beginning. It's a great line, but I don't know that it's aiding the scene but why does being presentable even matter when I'm already a disappointment? So we know she's a disappointment, and then the rest of the scene is just showing that fact. So it's almost a redundancy. It would be much stronger, I think, of this time I'm going to show them, you know, finally I'm presentable, finally they'll see me. And then she falls and it's humiliating and she's not living up to her hopes. Does that?
Yeah.
That was the first agency.
Because, I mean, she doesn't even really fall. She catches herself. And someone's asking, as a Jane Austen girly, she wouldn't say half-assed. I agree. But who she wouldn't fall in front of would be those two servants. And if we're talking royalty, I mean, they would probably turn around and run away because, we can't be seeing the royalty looking foolish. And, I mean, everyone falls. If she slips and catches herself, I'd probably be like, oh, that's the best part of my day. So I think what Anne thinks.
Oh, Charles came in with maybe it's a retelling of a fairy tale. Maybe.
Okay. I mean, yeah, like you said, she's just running. We open with her running down the hall to.
It's also just I found it a little bit funny that she's, you know, she's walking just fine. And then all of a sudden, one step, fine, two steps, staying, third, and then she falls. I'm like, but she's been walking fine all the way up until this point. So I'm not sure why.
Was she counting?
I guess maybe it's just the fact that there are people there to watch her and she's nervous.
Maybe it means like actual like steps, but that's not clear. Like stairs, like up one and like, you know how like you have a long skirt.
Oh.
But I only am saying that now that I'm really thinking about it, right?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't do stairs and dresses, or heels. So I get it.
Like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, if we knew how old she was, that would be a huge difference. Because if it's a kid, okay, who cares? It's funny, haha. If it's an old woman, oh no, that's horrible.
So yeah, and now I'm in still no inflection as that last line is
That boggles my
fascinating. I don't know what an inflection is, so now I'm curious.
It's like the up at the end of a sentence, like, really? Like, that's an inflection, but who cares?
Well, yeah, but in this sense, it doesn't
make sense.
Yeah, so I think in this setting, I'm not sure what they mean by inflection. So,
I think this
Anyway.
one is when I copied and pasted it over, the one page was longer than one page. So some of the last lines got cut off.
So they're a cheater now.
No, I just,
no.
it's just the way when it copied over, it just did not, it just went on farther. So I was just like, well, one page, we've got to make this even for everyone. Right.
Mhm.
So, so inflection. Okay.
Reflecting on the inflection.
Yes. Yeah. The last one, Kelly.
All right. The prophecy bell rings. Florence's resentment grows with each vibration. In the darkness beyond her home, the trolls will attack any moment, and Florence was left behind again. Her well of magic swirls in her chest. It's right there, ready to heal. But it won't do any good for the village if she's stuck at home. How is she ever going to learn if they never let her come? Sure, her brother's magic is more useful in a fight, and sure, Florence can barely heal a skinned knee. Still, if they would only bring her along, maybe then she could unlock her craft. Perhaps Mistress Alice's teaching has failed because Florence needs to be challenged, not because her power is weak. Claws scratch at the door, and Florence drops low, scrambling behind her chair. Florence's hands tremble, her shoulders tremble, her entire body trembles. How did a troll manage to sneak through the entire village? But that's ridiculous. A troll wouldn't tap gently at the door. It would barrel inside, destroying with cruel intensity. No wonder Florence was left behind. She is weak, and she is a coward. Florence channels her shame, twisting it into courage, and glances toward the noise. A dog stands on its hind legs, peering through the door's glass panel. Florence shouldn't have recognized that familiar scrape of paws on wood. Florence should have recognized that familiar scrape of paws on wood. She emerges from her hiding spot, forces her wobbly nerves to calm. She strides over to the eager dog and strokes the soft black fur. Clover's large puppy eyes beg to be let outside. The pup's ears are raised, alert, ready for action. I know, Chloe. I want to be out there too, but a battle is no place for a 12-year-old, Florence says, mimicking her father's deep voice.
So the dog was inside? I thought the dog was outside. Very confusing. I'm super confused. And this is very racist against trolls. But, I will let the table decide.
I was also a little confused. I thought the dog was outside looking in through the glass window at her. Let's see.
And she says, oh, I'm not near the battlefield, nowhere near trolls. And then a troll's at the door. And she says, how do troll get through the village? But we don't know what door we're at. So are we at a house in the village? I assumed we were in like a castle.
So I think this start is suffering from what I like to call, like, it's trying to start with action when really stories, we just need to start with agency. And our character lacks agency here, but there's a lot of action kind of happening on the periphery of like what is going on. There's some sort of troll invasion. There's a war. There's lots of things that are being discussed, but our character is kind of just hiding. And so and if we knew that she was hiding for like a deeper reason, right? Like, I can't be found, more terror, but again, that's really hard to do in an opening scene when you don't really know the character or know how to care about them quite yet. So I think that this is not starting in the right place.
Or in the right way. But I agree with that with agency. And this is clearly middle grade fantasy.
Yes.
And you could, so I'm going to give a reading example of a great first page and first chapter to read for middle grade fantasy that has a character who's really just standing back, but in doing so, and she's observing everything around them, but in doing so, she still has a huge amount of agency, and you learn why. And that is The Last Mapmaker by Christina Centurnavat. It's a wonderful way to see how you don't have to have a whole lot of action for a character to still have an amazing amount of agency. And it really comes all from her attitude. So I think that's a really great observation, though. And there's just, I think, too many balls in the air and not enough sense of who we should be looking at and why.
Oh, I thought you were going to read a page.
I was just suggesting for this author to know.
Oh, you're suggesting
to go and
they
look
read the page. I was like, oh, Kelly's going to whip out a page.
Go and look
Okay.
No. Just go read the first chapter of the Last Mapmaker. It's a great.
That makes sense. Yeah, we have, unless anyone has any other thoughts on this, we have 7 minutes left for any questions or discussions or
we have a question.
Ooh, goody. We like questions.
Just the first page.
Yeah, it's just the first page. So, generally it's around 250, 300 words. So think of it as your first page, double spaced, Times New Roman, 12-point font, 1-inch margins, like what fits on a page?
That's a good question. When are we going to do this next month?
Let me look up next month's date. That's a March. So we will be doing it. Oh, looks like March 25th again. Huh.
We generally are the last Wednesday of every month.
Yes.
Are you good? That would be a me question, and I need to get my my stuff together and do some query conundrums again. I do, yes. So it's on the list of things that I need to get done. So I'm hoping to bring them back this year. If you like them, I think we only had like 3 people watch them, so I don't know.
Yeah. And we had a bunch. One of my clients, Linda Edison, said she liked our banter so much she listened to it while she had her breakfast, which was cereal. Amazing.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out.
Yay. See? There you go. Any other questions? Publishing is in a wild state right now.
That it is.
It always is. I feel like every day it's like publishing.
It's so funny when I get emails from clients because I'm like, yeah, publishing today. And I give some random answer. And I'm like, oh, I say that every week because it's always something different.
So the answer to this question, if you've already sent in a first page and it wasn't chosen for today, will you be looking at it for the next round? And the answer is yes. So we're just kind of grabbing in the order that they have been received in our inbox. And I think someone had sent like a Google Doc and the doc was expired and like they were deleting it or something. So we didn't pick that one because we felt like it was the author was like, kind of like, nah, I don't want you to do this. So that one was skipped. So if that one was yours, apologies, but it was pulled away. So we didn't want to do that. So, but yes, we're just kind of going in order.
Yeah. publishing questions. How do you feel about dark middle grade fantasy in the market right now for someone entering the query trenches? Ooh, that's you, Kelly. Kelly Dykstra House.
Me. Yeah, I think right now, middle grade fantasy, people want it if it's new. I personally love dark middle grade fantasy. So it just needs to feel quite fresh and new. And here's the thing is middle grade is really trending towards the shorter end of things now. So even fantasy, I would, if you're a debut, and it's truly for the 10 to 12-year-old range, I would really try to keep it 50 to 60,000 words tops. But as a genre itself, dark middle grade fantasy is definitely definitely things that somebody's looking for, especially if you've got a little bit of creepy in there with the dark, a little spooky. Be great.
I have an amateur question for you. How dark is too dark for middle grade fantasy or anything?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I really think it's just on how it's handled. Middle grade can touch on some really dark topics, and it can be really dark. It's just how it's handled within the writing and in the characters. So, yeah, it's hard to say. I don't think there's like a limit. Also, I don't know if like what you mean by dark is the same thing that I mean by dark. Like it's not necessarily an easy thing to define. So, and okay, 48,000 words is great. And no, I am not currently open to queries. Ooh, magicians. That sounds like fun. Sounds like a whole lot of fun. But yeah, no, that sounds like it's hitting the sweet spot of where middle grade is right now.
Does Natasha do middle grade? I don't remember.
No, Sarah does.
Ah, yes, Sarah. Ooh, that's scary. I had to consult a childhood psychologist for this book. Dark, smiley face. That sounds dark.
Yep.
I generally do middle grade, but right now I'm still close to middle grade because I have a lot on my list currently that we're trying to
place.
Exactly.
Yep.
Middle grade's hard right now. It's hard out there for middle graders right now.
It's been a tough year, but you know, we're still pushing hard for our middle graders. So I have a few projects out right now.
Ooh, what is the market looking like for closed door YA sports romance? Closed door. Oh, that means like off page. Gotcha.
Yeah, let's hope so in YA, I think.
Yes. That would be the assumption.
I mean, I think romance is always something that publishers are looking for. When it comes back down to it, it's always about like that hook, that unique angle, that thing that's going to make it stand out or set it apart from the others in the market. So, especially in the romance market. So that's something to think about.
I agree. Okay, so it is 8. Does anyone have any final thoughts?
I mean, we just want to thank writers out there for, trusting us with their words and sending in their pages to allow us the opportunity to help other writers and use them. So thank you for being brave. Thank you for, trusting us. Thank you for being a part of this. We appreciate you.
And we will see you. I don't want to cut you off, Kelly. You go.
Nope. I was just saying it takes a lot of courage to put your work out there like this. So I do appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. So we will see you all, hopefully, all 8, 9, 10 of you, March 25th, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Come ready to rock and roll. Team Tobias out. Bye.
Bye.